Maki, and I'm in the interior design department in the College of Human Environmental Design, and the class I taught was non-residential design and graphic communications. This is the first introduction to commercial design that our students have. They are second year design students coming out of a residential course. Luckily, the design studio model pedagogy is already set up for experiential learning. So when I found out about the program, I was really excited. And I came and did it because I wanted to push the bounds of what we know as experiential learning. And how do I get my students to do more, think more in real life situations? So I'm glad I went after Megan because they have the same kind of pedagogy that we have with evidence-based design. Our program is all about design thinking and coming up with problems, finding the solutions, testing the solutions to find out which scenario is going to work best. Since we are at a university, I wanted to create a challenge for them that they would be, it would be recognizable to them because they spend 90% of their time in these classrooms. This particular classroom, for example, is set up for lecture mode. Most of our classrooms on campus are set up for lecture mode. The new kind of classroom design that we're trying to go to are what they call active learning classrooms. And so I had to have my students reimagine what the classroom experience would be. So here was our design challenge. They looked at classrooms. We have design drivers. This is what I wanted to focus on. The way that we start design problems are all about research and understanding what the problem is first before they can get to the solution. They have a 10,000 square foot building. They have 2 stories that they have to plan for, and they have different requirements that our client has asked them to provide. The one outcome I kind of want to focus on today, because my course has lots, was getting them to be creative thinkers, thinking outside the box. You know, what else is out there that you don't see, that you can't recognize, and what that looks like. And how research and evidence-based design helps us become better designers, providing better environments for the people who actually have to, you know, be in the space. And how do we get humans to engage with their space the way we want them to? So when I say to my students that we're kind of scientists of the built environment, they laugh at me. But at the end, I think that they understand what I'm trying to get to. So I was really thinking about critical thinking, analyzing problems, synthesizing the problems so there's understanding. So here's our case study. We looked at 4 different classrooms throughout the university. Most of them were lecture-based. The one in the upper left-hand corner is actually our interior design studio, and the arrangement of the desks are in little pods, so we're all facing each other. So we're not in long rows, we all face each other. And so we, as a studio, we got to have what we call design thinking charrettes. Our students collaborate together, they talk to each other, sorry, dry throat. They measure, they look at their space, they're analyzing their space, they're going through it. So it's like a deep dive. Hands-on learning. So once they get together as groups, they talk, they look at their space. Before they went into the classroom, they actually measured, they actually took photos. We learned about different classroom configurations. They got together and had what we call a design charrette, where they can share their ideas together to come to a solution for the problem. They all keep sketchbooks. They have journals, sketchbooks. One of my colleagues called it a mind memento, right? Where they keep this memento of their mind and where they were at a particular time during the course. All of their ideas are stored here. I call this their brain. They get to carry around their brain. And they start looking and analyzing the problem. They look at program requirements. They look at square footage. I know a lot of people have an experience of HGTV as an interior designer, and that's fine. It's you know, a very, very, you know, great part of the market. It's only about 30%, but we align ourselves more with architecture. So students come from nursing and they say, I couldn't do it, I dropped out, I couldn't do the math. And I said, oops, surprise, guess what? We're all about math, physics, volumetric, spatial analysis, just a different type of math. So they go through all these sketchbook assignments. Everything that they do is built from the skeletal of building inside. So they reimagine space. They had to do information desk, wayfinding, how do people get around the space? And then this is what the outcome was, the final design solution. So this is where they started the empty shell. They designed active learning classrooms, staircases so they could move throughout the building. And they did all of this within a matter of 16 weeks, which was really impressive because it is 10,000 square feet, and they had a lot of different program requirements. So here's some of the final design solutions. We do floor plans, all two-dimensional thinking, and then we take it three-dimensionally. So these are the virtual environments that they've created based on what their design solution was. So here are some of the different types of classrooms, and they looked at furniture placement, materials, and how that will aid in the learning that takes place in all these different classrooms. So here are some of our design solutions. Ongoing challenges, questions. For us, it was really getting them to separate what they know and what they could know or could reimagine, and getting them outside of their heads, outside of their own environments, outside this university. And I'm not exactly sure how to do that yet. I expose them to a lot of things on the internet, video, and the classroom experience. You know, I tried to get them there, but it might be more beneficial to like maybe go outside of my region and go to UAB and say, hey, can I look at some of your art studios? Hey, can I look at, you know, some of your lecture classrooms? So it's not just the Alabama experience, so it's heightened. And then I'm always trying to get them to understand the architectural aspects of space and how you can change that. So it is really behavioral, environmental, ergonomics, and how we control the psychology of space and how people react to that space. So that's some of my ongoing challenges with this class. Questions?